This is not just a drama, it is that game show which has transformed the world of entertainment. This is a story that tells us about a real-life concentration camp in South Korea. A concentration camp where real-life offenses were forcefully brought and made to work, just like in the Squid Games, used for the entertainment of the rich. And even for the slightest mistake in the work, sexual abuse was inflicted on the students. That drama whose season 1 became the most viewed fictional game show in history, Squid Game. Squid Game is not like anything else on television. Think Hunger Games meets Saw, a gory dystopian thriller on track to be the most watched streaming sensation ever. But season 2 came in such silence that it couldn't even top the daily charts on its release day. This is that fictional game show which has single-handedly, music, kept a story that shakes the heart and mind. Hwang, in his time, lived in a small apartment with his single mother. He used to write small-screen scripts in the morning and dream big dreams at night. Hwang faced poverty in his early life, did small jobs to pay for university fees, and kept chasing his dreams. He got his first fruit of his hard work in 2014 when his movie Miss Granny became a national hit. But Hwang knew that this is not the end, because the game is still on. Squid Game is still on. Hwang's script for Squid Games was far ahead of its time, as he had written it in 2009, so no producer was willing to buy it. After 10 years of struggle, Hwang decided that he will lock this script in a drawer. But little did he know that this script will one day shake the world. Hwang used to sit all day in a manga cafe, which are such Korean cafes where you can read books, refining his script. His reading test was very dark and sinister. He liked those stories very much in which the rich exploit the poor. These dark stories formed the backbone of Squid Game. Squid Game is a game show, but if we look at it in detail, it is a game show that depicts the damages of social hierarchy. This is the game show that not only shows inequality, but also makes it clear that there was a desperation to go international with its first non-American show. Stranger Things and its worldwide success made Netflix's Squid Game official. But before we talk about Squid Game, we need to talk about the Brothers' House. In 1978, it was decided that the 1981 Olympic Games would be held in South Korea. People were very happy about this, but the government's hands and feet swelled when they heard this news, because South Korea's streets were full of drug addicts and orphans. And if all this was seen by the international media, South Korea could face sanctions for human rights violations. So the then president of South Korea decided to build the Brothers' Home. It was advertised on TV as a paradise for the poor, but the real story was no less than hell. The police started kidnapping these orphan children and beggars from the streets in white vans, just as shown in the real Squid Games. They were taken to a camp where child labor was forced on children as young as 5 years old. And remember, all this was being done by the South Korean government itself. The government had chosen this man, Mr. Park, as the manager there. This man was killing 2 birds with 1 stone. The streets were becoming clean with the disappearance of the poor, and he was also keeping the labor money for himself. The boys' heads were shaved, and each person was assigned a number, just like in Squid Games. And if any victim did not do their job properly, they were subjected to sexual abuse with great cruelty. The most heartbreaking thing was that now Mr. Park was also making financial profits from these people. So the police were involved in this operation, who would kidnap random passers-by and bring them here. One policeman approached him and asked, "Why are you here? Are you alone?" The policeman told him, "Come with us to the police office. We are going to take you home." Of course, being 12 years old, naive and thinking this is a policeman, he obviously trusted them and ended up following them to the station, little knowing that this would change his life forever. Finally, an investigator named Park found this place and exposed it in the media, after which many cases were filed against Mr. Park, and this concentration camp was closed forever. But neither was Mr. Park arrested before his death, nor could the victims recall their traumatic experiences. The reason why no South Korean bought this script was that it showed very dark and violent scenes, which were banned in the South Korean media at that time. But thanks to Netflix's will, Hwang Dong-hyuk responded to these allegations by saying that he had never even seen that Japanese film, As the Gods Will. He said that his concept was written in 2009 when he first developed the idea of Squid Game. Critics said that some of the visuals and ideas had already been shown in films and shows around the world. September 17th, 2021, the day when the entertainment world saw an explosion. Squid Game not only shook the world as a show, but as a cultural phenomenon. Within just 28 days of its release, Squid Game was trending in 20 countries and 111 million people watched it. Hwang Dong-hyuk's 10-year-old script, interpreted on Netflix, made people start normalizing exploitation and violence. Activists say that the violent and dark elements of Squid Game have been normalized by the mainstream media. Government officials and parents were concerned whether such content is suitable for the younger generation, but the party has just begun. Because just days after the show dropped, some truths started to emerge. The first controversy happened when the show displayed a higher-ups, i.e., the villain's number. But in reality, it was not a villain's number. It was the number of a 16-year-old Korean student whom people started abusing by calling him the movie villain. This harsh treatment of the public put a lot of burden on that student, and he decided to sue the creators of Squid Game. The final and biggest controversy happened when highly credible news sources started claiming that during the shooting of number 18, heavy workload led to death, and he was later replaced. But the suspicions were gradually dismissed, as no news channel gave a reason for removing them, nor did they make any backdoor deals with these sources. Seeing the success of Squid Game, the world-famous YouTuber Mr. Beast said, "The story will be." The popularity of Squid Game has made it a global phenomenon, with people all over the world fascinated by its dark and gritty portrayal of social inequality. One of the most intriguing aspects of the show is its connection to a real-life historical event in South Korea, the Brothers' Home scandal. In the 1970s and 80s, the South Korean government set up this facility ostensibly to help the poor and homeless, but in reality, it was a horrific concentration camp where children and adults were forced into slave labor, just like the contestants in Squid Game. The parallels between the fictional show and this real-life tragedy are chilling. Both involve vulnerable people being exploited for the entertainment and profit of the wealthy elite. And in both cases, the authorities were complicit in the abuses, using violence and coercion to maintain the system. What's remarkable is that Hwang Dong-hyuk, the creator of Squid Game, had envisioned this story over a decade ago, long before it became a global sensation. His script languished for years, unable to find a producer willing to take on its dark and subversive themes. But Hwang persisted, driven by a desire to shine a light on the harsh realities of class inequality. When Squid Game finally found a home on Netflix, it struck a chord with audiences around the world. The show's blend of high-stakes drama, social commentary, and stunning visuals resonated deeply, tapping into a universal human fear of being left behind by an unjust system. The show's success has also sparked important conversations about the ethics of entertainment, the dangers of unchecked capitalism, and the need for greater social and economic equality. Squid Game has become more than just a TV show. It's a cultural phenomenon that has the power to challenge and reshape our perceptions of the world. As the story of Squid Game continues to unfold, with a highly anticipated second season in the works, it will be fascinating to see how Hwang Dong-hyuk and his team continue to push the boundaries of storytelling and social commentary. This is a show that has the potential to leave a lasting impact, not just on the entertainment industry, but on the way we think about the world around us.